Hello children, welcome to my class. Children, we are doing the sound of music part 2, the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. In my last two classes, children, I had talked about the theme, the message and the history of Shehnai, also about Bismillah Khan's background, that is his family, his childhood days, also about his grandfather and grandparents. So let us proceed with the chapter. Children, we have already done 4 paragraphs. Let us now begin with the 5th paragraph. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncle's practice the Shehnai. Who is this young boy, children? This is none other than Ustad Bismillah Khan. At the age of 3, he moved to Banaras along with his mother. He originally belonged to Dumrao, Bihar. From there, he moved to Varanasi. And there he was fascinated, means he was mesmerized to watch his uncles play Shehnai. I told you that he belonged to a musical family, and all his family members, maternal or paternal, both were into music. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baksh was employed to play the Shehnai. Okay, what was his occupation? Ali Baksh was a Shehnai player in the temple called Vishnu temple in Banaras. So this little boy, 3 years old boy, used to accompany with his uncle Ali Baksh, and instead of roaming around here and there, jumping around here and there, and what the little boy of his age is to do generally, instead of doing all those, is to sit there captivated, means glued by the music of Shehnai, and is to watch his uncle play Shehnai, that beautiful instrument. Ali Baksh would play the Shehnai, and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument, and he would sit practicing throughout the day. Okay, then Ali Baksh started teaching this little boy. When he found that he has got immense interest in Shehnai, he was captivated there when he used to play, when Ali Baksh used to play Shehnai. So he thought to give lesson to Bismillah Khan, and he also grabbed it very fast. He started learning very fast, and then he did not only learn, he is to practice throughout the day. See children, if you love something, if you are passionate about something, if you want to do something, you only need to practice. Only learning cannot make you perfect. It is says that practice makes a man perfect. So if you want to be perfect, you only need to practice. So Bismillah understood this. Bismillah knew that. That is why he did not only take lesson from his uncle, he is to practice throughout the day. And where did he practice? He is to practice for years to come. The temple of Balaji and Mangalamaya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts, where he could practice in solitude. So he is to search for a peaceful place, and he is to go to practice, where his favorite spots to practice his Shehnai was temple of Balaji and Mangalamaya, and the most favorite place was the banks of river Ganges, and there is to sit and is to practice in peaceful manner. The flowing of waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. So he did not only practice, but he also wanted to invent new ragas, discover new ragas, and also wanted to improvise new ragas. Those ragas only were considered that it could be played by different instruments or by vocal singers can only sing those, but then he started playing. He thought that why couldn't he play in Shehnai? So he tried to play those ragas in Shehnai, and he came as a successful Shehnai player. So he brought all those ragas, those were considered to be played by different other musical instrument, but he played and he was successful playing those ragas in Shehnai as well. So he brought those Shehnai to the stage. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. Children, at the age of 3, he moved to Banaras along with his mother, and he started learning Shehnai from his uncle Ali Baksh. Now he is a 14-year-old boy. He had learned playing Shehnai and he could really play Shehnai well. So he accompanied his uncle Ali Baksh to a very prestigious musical conference, Allahabad Music Conference. There he played Shehnai. At the end of his recital, Ustad Faiz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." So there was, among many other musicians, there was a very famous musician, Ustad Faiz Khan. He could recognize Bismillah Khan's potential and talent. So he patted his back and told him to work hard so that he could really do well into the world of music and into the world of Shehnai. And that man was very true, that yes, today we know Bismillah Khan as the Shehnai player. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. So a turning point came into his life in 1938 when All India Radio in Lucknow was opened. There he went to play Shehnai. He was called to play Shehnai, and from then he never looked back. His music was loved by all, so he became often heard Shehnai player on All India Radio. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. So that was the most prestigious moments of his life. Children, India became independence on 15th August 1947, and he was the first to greet the entire nation with his Shehnai. And he poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Mahatma Gandhi and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech. So who all were there? Famous people were there. Mahatma Gandhi was there. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was there. That was the moment for Indians, the cherished moments for Indians. So there he got his chance to greet the entire nation, and as each and everyone, every Indian was happy. They were into the seventh heaven because they got their independence after 250 years fight with the Britishers. So there he could play his heart out through his Shehnai, and he played which rag? It was Raga Kafi. And there later on, Jawaharlal Nehru also gave his famous speech, Tryst with Destiny. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. Now, Bismillah Khan has become a famous musician. He became a well-known Shehnai player. So he started performing not only in India, but he also started traveling around the world. He made his first trip to Afghanistan, where the king was King Zahir Shah. He was so overwhelmed, he was so mesmerized by Bismillah Khan's performance that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets, very expensive Persian carpets, also other souvenirs. The king of Afghanistan was not only the one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Gunjuti Shehnai. Now, it is not only King Zahir Shah that he was mesmerized and he gifted Bismillah Khan, the famous film director of then, Mr. Vijay Bhatt, he was so impressed, he was so overwhelmed, and he liked Bismillah's music, playing Shehnai so much that while making a movie, he thought of titling his movie, and he gave a title to his movie as Gunjuti Shehnai. The film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's composition, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. The film Gunjuti Shehnai became a super hit at that time, and he had given music direction, and his composition, one song, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, it turned out to be a record breaker at that time. So that is, the entire nation had welcomed him as a music director. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's ventures in film music were limited to two: Vijay Bhatt's Gunjuti Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture Sanadhi Aparna. Though Bismillah Khan became a very famous music director with his first movie Gunjuti Shehnai and the song Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, but still he did not continue in the world of film. Why he did not continue? He could only continue two films, that is Gunjuti Shehnai and one Kannada movie, that is Sanadhi Aparna. But why didn't he continue? In his own word, he said, "I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world," he says with emphasis. So he did not continue in the film world because he called film was as very artificial. There he had to follow the instruction of the film director. He had to do the music or compose music according to the demands of the song, according to the demands of the film director. So he thought that he could not continue that. He could not fulfill the demands of them. He said music cannot be confined, music cannot be controlled. It is the heart and soul. It speaks, it's spiritual, it goes to the cosmos. So he could not continue into the world of film. I hope, children, you have understood the portion that I have taught today, explained to you today. Let me give you a little bit of information again about Bismillah's childhood days. As a 5-year-old boy, Bismillah Khan used to play gilli danda near a pond of Dumrao in Bihar. He often visited the Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita. At the end, the local Maharaja used to give him a very big laddu weighing 1.25 kg as a reward. Children, please note down these few questions. These are very few questions. I know that you will be able to find out the answer. Question number 1. Who had revived Pungi? Why do you think that the Baba had interest in Pungi? What did Bismillah Khan mostly do as a child? Number 4. What is the name of the father of Ustad Bismillah Khan? Number 5. Why was the Shehnai only used in the temples and weddings? Try to find out the answer, children. And in my next class, I'll continue with the rest of the paragraphs.